Today we're talking about timeline development for your new release. So everything having to do with the timeline for your new release, whether it's digital only or physical and digital, comes down to you deciding what results you want, and how much money you're willing to spend on the release, and who you're going to hire to work the campaign, because it's all going to depend on what the timeline is. So you want to have enough time to make sure that you're ready to promote the record, that you're able to book some touring if you want to do some touring as the record comes out, which is definitely advisable if you want to share the music. So when you can go on a short timeline, you can move quickly, but you have to just be prepared with certain elements to be able to move forward all in conjunction. So the thing to think about is that, first of all, even to get something onto a streaming platform, it takes a few days at minimum. You can get it up there quickly, but if you want it to be able to be pitched to appropriate playlists, if you want it to be pitched, to appear on the Spotify State of Jazz or Apple A-List Jazz, those sorts of things, you need at least a month, at least to get them a chance to hear it and think maybe they'll put it onto the playlist. So you need at least that first month ahead of the release date for that. Now, if you have a publicist that's going to work it, now a publicist, I mean someone who's going to send it out to print people and press people that deal with print magazines, you've got to give them more lead time, because right now, it's August, the beginning of August, we're talking to Downbeat Magazine about some reviews that are going to come out for some of our artists, and that's all TBD. I won't release that information here, but we're talking to them about it, but it's for the November issue, and we're in August. So for consideration for the November issue, they already had to have it in August. Hopefully that timeline makes sense. So even if it's at least reaching out to them with a digital copy, like it's 3 months ahead of time that they need to have it, which means if you back up and you're thinking of doing a full-fledged release and you're having physical CDs printed up, then you've got to give 30 days at least for the printing before that 3 months, and maybe even a little bit more than that, considering that it's got to ship from the printer to you, and then you have to send CDs to your publicist, and then your publicist has to package those and send them out again to the actual media contacts. That all takes time, and maybe the UPS is slow that week or fast, you never know. So we're already looking at 4 months out having CDs like in hand ready to send out, which means you probably back up another month to get to 5 months out you should be going to print, which means you probably want to have your master done and your artwork done in the 4 weeks prior to that. So you're kind of the fastest you can possibly go if you're really, really smoking fast is probably 6 months with a full-fledged release with publicity, radio, all that stuff. To get all the materials together, it takes a good amount of time. Now, I've done definitely projects that are quicker and faster to turn around, and you can definitely cut corners here if you're not going to do certain things. If you don't care about when the release comes out, when reviews come out, and it's okay for them to come out later, then by all means, don't stick to the timeline, but be aware that the soonest that they're going to be able to include it is in these certain time frames, and then you got to consider what else is happening at those times. For example, a December issue is going to have the year-end best of stuff, so maybe you don't want your stuff in that magazine because in that time frame, because there's no room for you to be included there. So in summary, when you're coming up with a timeline, you have to know what you want out of it. If you know it's going to be a digital only release and you're not going to do a big campaign, you can move super duper fast. But if you're going to do a traditional campaign or try to participate in the industry in that way, and you want results that are timely, that go along with your tour dates, that go along with everything of that nature, you got to start even before everything is finished booking the tour. Often when I'm working on something for myself, I'll start booking a tour the day after the recording session is over. Be like, all right, this is when I can get into mix. That means that the master is going to be done by this time, then I can go to print by this time. So it'll be in this general month that the record will probably come out, and so I can tour in that month and after, maybe the month after that. So really just planning. I do it right from the beginning, right from the day in the studio. I can kind of know when the record will be able to come out. If it's going to be a digital only thing, it can go super fast and I can schedule it whenever I want. Or two, it's going to be kind of prolonged. But so remember, for print stuff, you need to have it in the hands of those people, those magazine people, 3 months before. And a lot of people go by this idea that any press is good press, which I do agree with, and that it doesn't matter when it comes out. But I think that really it does matter when it comes out. It matters when it comes out because people are paying attention when it comes out. And it's a couple weeks after that people are like, oh yeah, new record. And they're looking at your stuff. And as soon as a couple weeks after passes, people don't really care about it as much anymore. And there's tons of new stuff also coming out. So I've been in that position before where I thought, okay, it probably doesn't matter when it comes. And it can be this kind of long trickle of press. But I don't think so. I've really changed my mind, and I really think the bigger splash you can make in a hard, compact amount of time is going to be the biggest impact you can get from your CD or your digital release, whatever you're doing. You kind of want to hit people hard over the head and let them know that it's happening, and get as much happening as possible all at once. And hopefully that'll help you start planning for your next release. So if you want to release something in 6 months, you better get started right away. So thanks for being here, guys. Hope these episodes are bringing you some value. Please leave me some questions and thoughts about these episodes for future episodes, so we can talk about the topics that you want to talk about. If you have a project that you're considering using a label for, we're always accepting submissions for new releases, unsolicited, unlike other labels. We do want to hear what you guys are doing, and we want to hear if we're able to help. So send us a message, info@outsidedmusic.com. We'll get you straight to us and be able to hear your music. So thanks for being here. This has been Create, Connect, Repeat. Tune in each and every Friday for a new episode. We'll see you back here in just a week.